Hello! Today I wanted to show you a little flip through of my nature craft books. So far I have 2 of them. I'm actually working on making another one, but I wanted to just go over them and show them to you if that would be interesting and could spark maybe a little inspiration to make one of your own. So the thing about nature for me is I just get lost in nature, in the good sense, of course. Just as someone might get lost in a good book or some new idea or inspiration, I get lost in my nature craft book. Nature just seems to calm me, to ground me, center me, refresh me somehow. It puts things into perspective compared to the super busy life we all live. And somehow these just fill me up. So I made one and then I continued with the second one. These were such a delight to make. So I wanted to share a little piece of joy with you in these craft books. I think it's usually when I can't be out in nature that I go back to these. I wrote myself a little journal declaration. This is my journal. I give myself absolute permission to express my own unique heart and soul in whatever way I choose to. No judgment lives here, just complete love and acceptance, unconditionally for myself. A safe place just for me. I don't want another sermon. I just need some gentle encouragement, compassion reminders, and comforting reassurance. That's what this journal is for me. So I find that it helps to have that at the beginning of it so that I don't start getting judgy or using this as brain dump or put all my things that I want to let go of. In here is just what I want to invite in and how I want to feel. So I just used a notebook, actually for both of them, just a simple plain notebook. I think it was a 24-pager, and I covered them with beautiful wallpaper. I chose some patterns that looked a bit like nature, and then I just printed out title. After thinking of it, I was like, oh, I could have given it some unique, beautiful, fancy title, but instead I just went crafting some nature wonders. I'll keep that in mind for the next one. Anyway, I saw this photo in a magazine and it just right away sparked some inspiration. And throughout, you'll see I have added some quotes. Sometimes I've added some pockets and even left spaces for more journaling later on. That's what I love about these journals is I can go back to them and be refreshed, encouraged, reminded of them, but at the same time I can always add to them, fill them up a little bit more, add what I feel today, what sparks joy in me today. Here's a quote: "The voice of nature is always encouraging." So this picture inspired me, a tiny dip or a splash. So sometimes I need a little dip of encouragement. Sometimes I need a whole splash, a whole shower of it. And I get it from this book. And I go back to this book when maybe I can't be out in nature because of the season or the weather. I captured little pieces of it in this notebook on these pages. So not only do I include some favorite quotes that I read, or maybe some questions to ask myself, just loving, gentle reminders, but sometimes I also express things like some feelings or experiences that I want to go back to or be reminded of. So this journal book is a place to let loose and express things. It could also be a place that I write down how I feel when I'm in nature, or things I feel when I look at these pictures, or after reading a good book, something I want to remember, a little quote. And I don't really care how I write. Sometimes I write in black, sometimes in white, sometimes this way, sometimes that way, sometimes big, sometimes small, sometimes capital letters, sometimes using different fonts. Sometimes I have my pages by themes, maybe related to a quote I wrote, or maybe 2 or 3. I just gave it a theme. That way I can always return back to it, know what it's about. And also if I want to add a quote later on that theme, I can also do that. So I think that's how these pages kind of evolved and created themselves. It wasn't with any plan. I started off usually with just 1 or 2 pictures, and I added some other pages, some old paper of course, and some doodles. Pockets, yes. I go to nature to be soothed and healed and get my senses back in order. Nature is the purest portal to inner peace. So like I said before, nature just seems to calm me and center me. So yes, I come back to this book when I need a little calming moment and maybe I can't step out in nature, so I will go and take a peek into my book. I have some hidden pockets here and there. Even these pictures, sometimes I make them as pockets, love notes to myself. And other times I just love to fill it up. If you get tired, learn to rest, not to quit. Sometimes I just need to turn away from the noise and clutter of the world and begin to listen to the whispers of my own heart, to look within. My silent companion of my authentic self lights lanterns of love to brighten my path to feeling more complete and to gain clearer direction. Yes, that's another one that nature seems to always give me more clarity on what I'm doing, what I'm feeling, what I'm going through at the moment. And sometimes I add questions, like I said before, what benefits do I get from being out in nature? What is nature's biggest lesson to me? What in nature or about nature do I love most? So this I filled it with tons of pink flowers, and most of these I just get from supermarket magazines. And then I add in a little craft paper, and sometimes I include quotes. Trust that through the balm of simplicity, your frazzled and weary soul can discover the place where you ought to be. Every day offers us simple gifts when we are willing to search our hearts for the place that's right for us. Listen to the voice of nature, for it holds treasures for you. So again, reminders. Sometimes all it takes is me reading one page and I just get my fill. I get my love cup all filled and I get calmed and I get grounded, and sometimes I'll just even flip through them all and look through all the pages, maybe look at the pictures and read one or two quotes. So it's really left to how I feel at the moment, to what my heart needs at the moment. I made myself a little envelope as a pocket, and I even made a list of things I want to do in nature. Blow a dandelion and make a wish, sketch in a field or forest, dip my feet in a stream, read my book in a quiet spot, record my own meditation out in nature, watch a sunrise or sunset, have a romantic picnic with my husband, create a journal about my surroundings, take a nap and do nothing at all. A walk in the woods walks the soul back home. It's also for me rest, refocus, replenish. And I found a little picture of a fox and this beautiful forest. This one was on listening and reflecting. This is one on awareness. I found this picture, Shine Bright, which I loved, and it went along with the colors that I chose. Here's a little card, and I can use it. I can add more to this, and I used a little nice piece of paper as a pocket. Again, you see some numbers because it was from a shopping magazine. Doesn't matter. We must learn to savor small, authentic moments that bring us contentment. Again, here it's a pocket. I'm realizing that I have everything I need in life right now to make me really happy, but maybe sometimes I simply lack the conscious awareness to appreciate it. That's when gratefulness comes in. I use this card as a pocket. And as you can see, I've added nature doodles because I love to doodle. I kind of made them match the page, the theme. I didn't really plan this ahead of time. I went with a magazine picture. I think I start with one, and then this one is a nice big one. And then I found this little pot of flowers. Again, it's not perfect. I added notebook papers, and this one is on order and calm, on balance. And nature speaks, a reminder, yes, nature speaks to me all the time. Sometimes I'm listening, sometimes I'm just enjoying it, and sometimes I'm right in it. Sometimes I'm feeling it with all my senses. I wrote here my little balance rituals. Let us each grasp a new idea this year, the awareness of what it is that makes us truly happy. I go in nature to unwind and unplug, to let my thoughts wander and ponder, to be with myself In the quiet of nature, I can better hear the whispers of my soul and the wisdom of my heart. I love this page with the roses, the pink, and I found a little window picture, so I made it into a pocket. This one is on abundant life. Again, appreciating what we have, what I have, what I'm blessed with. Time is a bountiful blessing. I have 365 bright mornings and star-filled evenings, 52 delightful weeks, 12 promising months of amazing possibilities, and 4 splendid seasons waiting for me. A full year to be savored in all its abundance and glory. I treasure and take pleasure. So for me, that's a big lesson from nature that I get, is the seasons. I go through each season just like nature goes through the seasons, and it's okay. We have different seasons in our lives. It's really accepting ourselves at the time, what we need, how we can nourish ourselves in the moment, and really listen to what we need at the time. I love these colors. This one is all about peace. So what does peace look like for me? And I journaled a little something about it. Ways I can incorporate more peace into my day. When I lack peace, I accept who I am. That's choosing inner peace. Nothing external has to change or happen for me to experience peace. It's not dependent on any outcome. I get to choose each day. I make this the most important aspect of my day. Stressful situations, hard days, mistakes, messes, disappointments, changes, bad news happen, but I can choose peace within. Little pocket here. Oh, another page I love with all the red poppies. This is one of my favorite colors, and this is on the topic, keep going. And then some quotes are related, some are not. It wasn't a harsh rule for myself. I'm tempted to always wait for the bigger house, the better job, the perfect vacation to be happy. But I want to start making happiness a habit right now, where I'm at today. Every morning when I wake up, I've been given a wonderful gift, another day of life, so I can make the most of it. It's not those things out of my control that will make me happy. Happiness that no one can take away from me is what flourishes in the secret garden of my soul. Again, it's back to nature. Peace and live the now. So that's a big lesson I've learned from nature too, is enjoy the moment, enjoy the process, enjoy the here and now. This is a picture of what I wish for. I seek out the values that I personally connect with. Peace is sitting back and enjoying the view, my surroundings, no cares, no stress to fight the stillness, the quiet. I'm transported to new oceans and feelings and emotions, even with just a few minutes of quiet, do-nothing pauses out in nature. What are my life's drainers? What are my life's buzzers? Which do I choose? How do I do it? So I go back to this very often because that's really how I experience and find the peace of the here and now. And that was it. So that was not very long. It's just a few spreads. I enjoyed this so much, and I love going back to this. It's like when I go into a page, I'm transported back in the time when I made the page, or maybe what I was doing or what I was feeling at the time, and I take it all in. So I want to encourage you to maybe find that place that is calming and that helps you to fill your love cup again, whatever it may be. If it's out in nature, but you can't have it with you all the time, then make yourself a craft book. Cut out all those pages you love, those pages that make you smile, and then fill them up with personal words, loving words, uplifting words that will feed you and support you in your days. That's what I love to put in these collage journals. It's things worthy of going back to over and over again. So you don't need many supplies to make yourself a craft collage journal. You need some magazines, some old papers, scissors and glue, and stickers if you want. And the rest is just following your heart, following those things that you love and letting that fill up your book. Well, I didn't want to make this video too long, so maybe I'll give you a run through of this Nature Wonders number 2 in part 2 of this video.